Hey kids, and welcome to the show. Today we're talking about Disney. And we're talking about Disney because Disney is trending because they're in a little bit of trouble. Disney often finds themselves in trouble with conservatives. Shoot, for as long as I can remember, conservatives have come after Disney. The first really big boycott of Disney that I participated in was back when Disney made The Hunchback of Notre Dame. It was said that there was satanic elements in the movie, and there was sex and nudity and all of these things happening when Esmeralda, as the fire, was enticing the cardinal. Well, fast forward, and Disney is doing it again. They fired Gina Carano, and the Daily Wire picks them up. So the Daily Wire picks them up. They fire poor Gina Carano because she said something that was distasteful among the people that were listening. Disney bad. But then, once again, Disney's in the news. And this time, it's because they filmed a movie near where they're literal slaves in concentration camps in China, the Uyghur Muslims. Wait, there's more. Now, Disney is embattled with this case of pedophilia within the parks and within the staff, and then, yeah, okay, I'm gonna stop there. The point I'm trying to make is that Disney has been in trouble my entire life, and you have to step back and ask yourself, is it Disney? Is it the culture that Disney creates? Or is Disney a corporation? Is it a cult? Is it a corporation? Cults are typically a bunch of religious fanatics that get together and then they become religions after time. Well, I gotta tell you, Disney? There's some religious fanatics about Disney. So yes, people that follow Disney could fall into the definition of cult. But they've also been around long enough that they can start to look like a religion. And there's another big corporation kind of entity that's starting to look more like a cult or starting to look more like a religion than a cult, and that is U.S. politics. I'm just talking about U.S. politics today. If you are not from the U.S., I appreciate you being here. Please comment. But we're talking three major institutions around the world. The Catholic Church is one of them. That is a religious institution that was at one time a cult. So you got Pope Francis, you got the U.S. government, you've got Joe Biden, and you've got Disney. You've got the mouse. Three of the most influential people and leaders in the entire world. Whether you like it or not, they are leaders, and they are influential. So, is Pope Francis to blame for everything that ever happened within the Catholic Church? No, he's not. Catholic Church has been around for 2,000 years. Well, almost, just going on it. And no, he is not responsible for everything that has happened. He's responsible for Pope Francis. He's responsible for himself and his actions and what he has done. So that's a show for another day. If we're going to talk about Pope Francis, but he is the leader. And then we look at Joe Biden, the president of the United States. He is the leader of the U.S. And we can't judge him on the actions of Grover Cleveland or you name it, Abraham Lincoln, Jackson. I don't know all the presidents. I probably do, but I don't. Let's just say we can't blame him for the past. We can't give him credit for past Republicans. We can't give him credit for past Democrats. He's the president now. And we can only judge him on that. And so we move forward to the mouse. The mouse is probably the most influential leader in the entire galaxy. I mean, they literally own universes. They own the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They own the Star Wars universe. Heck, they even own National Geographic. There's a lot of stuff that Disney owns, and their stuff is intellectual property. And so they influence more people, I would argue, than any president, including our own, or any religious leader, including Pope Francis. They are more powerful. They are in your kids' lives more than anything else. Think about it. How many Disney songs do your kids know? And how many prayers do they know? How many scriptures do they know? Moving forward, we're seeing Disney embroiled in this pedophilia ring I'm glad, because everybody there should just be a new place for pedophilia and pedophiles. So we are going to see a whole lot of stuff in the news with Disney, and it's sad. But let's remember that Disney isn't those people. Disney is a corporation. There's this huge entity, and within that entity are bad apples. We saw this in the Catholic Church. There are some bad apples. There were bad priests, and there may still be bad priests, and we are pruning those and pulling them out. But the beauty of our church isn't in the sins of one man. The beauty of our church is in what it teaches. The beauty in Disney is that they make some really good movies and some great animation. Unfortunately, I don't agree with a lot of stuff, and that makes it very difficult to talk about a company when they're like making this stuff. So you have to ask yourself, what is Disney's goal? Is their goal to indoctrinate and change you and change your children? Well, maybe, but it's probably not in the way you think. Disney is a corporation who wants to make money, and they want to make as much money as possible. And most of the time, when you make fun of conservatives laugh, and they just shake it off. When you make fun of people that are, and I don't want to say liberals, but people that are really far left, kind of off the rails, they can't laugh at themselves, which means you have to kind of say, oh, you got to treat them just a little softer. So then marketing starts to be directed towards them because you want their money. Well, you're still getting the money from the conservatives, the people that are like, oh, I don't like this. But what happens is Disney is now in a point where they're starting to lose a little bit of that conservative money because people are starting to actually boycott things. And the people that are complaining are not actually buying the product. And that's what we're going to start to see moving forward in a lot of businesses. So can you still go to Disney? Nah, we'll see. I have no idea. I haven't really followed what's happening with this anti-grooming bill that they're doing in Florida. I know everybody's like, Disney's double downing on it. I don't know what's happening behind the scenes, but watch what you say in front of your kids, because when we talk bad about whether it's the president or the former president or the mouse or the Pope, they hear us. And they hear us more when we're not talking directly to them. Know that your kids hear every word. They choose to ignore them. But what they see more than anything are your actions and how you approach things. Are you approaching things with respect? Are you approaching things with love? When we talk about the president, I'm not a fan. Not a fan. Never have been. In all of his years in office, he's just been on the wrong side of issues for me. And that's it. The kids aren't going to see me bad-mouthing the president. They're not going to see me disrespecting the president. I use his title because it's a title. He earned it. So why are people so ready to jump on these trains? It's because everybody needs some place to belong. And over the last 2 years, people have not had a place to belong. So instead of attacking these corporations, which the people that broke the law absolutely need to go to jail. And that goes for anybody within the church, and that goes for anybody within government. Too many people are yelling about things that are going wrong and things that are happening, but not enough people are actually going to jail. So that's the answer to all that. That is simple. But how do we get better. Like I said, 2 years we have been confined, and people are just now getting back out into society. They don't know if they can talk here. They don't know if they can talk there. This left side media has said that the right is evil. The right side media has said the left is evil. So you have this over and over and going in, can I go into this store? Do I have to wear a mask there? Do I still have to wear a mask? And there's all these things that make people nervous. And yet it's really simple. You have to try to get back to some of your pre-pandemic life. And one of those is faith. A lot of people lost their faith when they were cooped up. Not because they didn't pray, but because they didn't have a community to go to and to worship together. Now that things have opened up, you should start spending a little more time in community. Try to go back to a church. If church isn't your thing, join a sport. Get into a league. Do something where you're joining a community. The early church fathers started in little communities and they prayed together. It doesn't matter what your community does. If your community are skaters or bikers or motorcyclists or basketball players, whatever your community is, come together. Break open the word, read some scripture, just pray together. Because even if you're not ready to step into a church building, church really is where you're at and where you gather with other people. So instead of gathering with people on social media and fighting the next devil, whether that be the mouse or the Pope or the president or the prime minister or whatever it is, instead of doing that, let's see how we can fix ourselves. Let's see how we can move towards a more peaceful us. Because if we can become a more peaceful us, people will follow that. Saint Francis of Assisi is known as saying, preach the gospel every day and when necessary, use words. He was known for building churches stone by stone. And his gospel was, I have to serve the community. And people saw his service. And seeing his service and his passion and his love for the community was him preaching the gospel. Unfortunately, nobody is preaching the gospel. People are preaching the hate that is coming out of the political parties, some religious parties, and just people that want your money. So, being one of those people that kind of want something from you, I can say, listen to the people that draw you closer to God or draw you closer to peace. And what I want from you is to go down, smash the like button, because you've been here a while. It means you kind of, at least I wasn't too boring for you. And share this video if you think it will help somebody. If I miss something, definitely say something in the comments. And there are some cool opportunities in the description, mydigitalmoney.com. You can set up a Roth IRA tied to cryptocurrency. You can buy some Scars and Stripes coffee. Use my links and you can get some free cryptocurrency with Coinbase or crypto.com. So thanks so much for being here. Until next time, work hard, be kind, and have fun.